Hey, it's Nate from Navigator Bookkeeping, and today we are talking about one of the final Profit First accounts, the profit account. So we've talked about owner's comp, we've talked about OPEX, we've talked about tax. Today we're finally talking about profit. Maybe you've been thinking, the system's called Profit First, and we still have not even mentioned profit. When are we going to get to that? Well, here we go. So what is the profit account? It doesn't mean that you put all of your profits, as in the profit from your income statement, just right into this account. It's basically a percentage like the other profit first accounts. Usually we'd say you start with 5% to put in that account. But the profit account actually has two purposes, which is pretty cool. The first is a very cautious purpose. Half of the account is always going to be used as an emergency savings. Now, this savings should not be used for, hey, I want to buy a new computer for my business, but for emergencies. So if you've lost income, COVID's a perfect example. When there's crazy circumstances happening, you want to have an emergency savings set up. And we're going to talk about more about that in the next video with another account that we can use as well called the Vault account. But anyways, half of this account is going to be used for emergency savings, and it's always going to be used for that. And you have to be really careful about what you use that for. But the other half, so one half is really cautious. The other half is kind of a reward for yourself. What we take is called a profit distribution, and this happens once a quarter. So at the start of each new quarter, you're going to take half of the account out, and you're going to give it to yourself as a distribution. Now, if you own any stock in any large companies like Apple or Google or any of those, Coca-Cola, I say Coca-Cola because they always give out distributions, but they give you a distribution once a quarter. And that distribution is usually like 5 cents or 10 cents. It's not very much because there's millions and millions of stockholders. Well, in your company, you're probably the only really holder, anyone who has interest in your company. You might have a partner, but really there's probably only one or two of you. So you have a much higher stake in your company, so you're going to take a much larger distribution. So basically what's going to happen is at the start of the new quarter, you're going to take half of the amount in the profit account and you're going to give it to yourself as a reward for taking the risk of owning a business. Because think about it, when you're starting a business, it is risky. You don't have an employer to back you up. You don't have a company, a larger company or franchise to back you up. It's you. You're putting your money on the line. You're putting your time on the line, your reputation, all that. So you should be rewarded for that risk that you're taking. So what you do is you take this distribution. The author of the book Profit First, Mike Michalowicz, says to use it on something that you would not usually spend money on. So go out for a nice dinner, save for a vacation. If you have a hobby, go buy that nice bottle of whiskey, go buy that jersey for that team that you really like, go on a shopping trip, whatever you want to do. Use that money for something special. Don't just put it back into the business, because what this money is doing is it's rewarding you and reminding you that the reason for owning your business, maybe not the sole reason, but owning a business is risky and it has advantages. You get to pay yourself a special bonus on top of what you normally pay yourself. So half is going to be used for emergency savings, only for emergencies. Half is going to be used for a profit distribution once a quarter. Now we've finally got to the word profit first. We finally mentioned why this system is called profit first, because you're setting aside that profit first every time you're taking distributions. Next week, we're going to talk about one more account that we could use called the Vault account to really shore up some emergency savings. But we've gone through the 4 main accounts, the 5 main accounts if you count income, and we're going to dive a little bit more into those in the coming weeks.